Hi guys, this is Dave from Yellow. We're just going to take you through today's podcast, which is talking about how to improve your sales and profits quickly without costing you the world. So we'll start off by, first off, you need to implement an upselling system. Upselling is one of the best ways of improving your profits quickly. Remember being at the local garage and they offer you some cheap chocolate as they cash up your petrol? That is the simplest form of upselling. Even though it's usually something worth, around £1 at the garage, imagine how many people they ask over a year. The sheer number of people they must ask must result in thousands of pounds worth of extra purchases, which they probably never would have got if they didn't ask. So that is how effective upselling can be for them. You need to find an extra option for customers that can be an add-on at only a small percentage of the cost that they originally paying. So if someone's buying a printer, would you like a cartridge for just an extra £10? If someone buys a mobile phone, would you like a phone case for just £5? That kind of thing. Think of a simple, cheap product or service that you can add to your package and would be helpful for your client. Then remember to suggest it on every purchase. This is a fantastic way of increasing the amount of money each customer spends with you, and it doesn't cost you anything in terms of marketing, as you've already got them there and they're obviously interested. Try and upsell to the customer at least twice. Once when they order, with something that will help straight away, and once when you've completed the work, so it's something that will be useful in the future. And make all of your team upsell. Delivery men when they're dropping off for delivery, customer service staff when getting feedback, whoever it is, get them all to upsell at every opportunity. This will drastically increase the amount of people signing up to you again. It doesn't have to be the hard sell. I know a lot of people are uncomfortable with sales. It's just a helpful suggestion to your customer. And the sheer numbers of people that you ask will give you fantastic results eventually. Some people might say, it is my job, I hate sales. Well, these are the kind of people that you don't want working for you. It sounds harsh, but they obviously don't care about your company. And you should replace them with somebody who's willing to help your company become even more successful. On the side of that, though, a bonus for getting a certain amount of sales over a quarter is also always a helpful motivator to help people upsell. The flip side of upselling is it doesn't have to be a small, cheap little extra add-on service. It can actually be a premium option. You don't have to just... So it doesn't have to be a minimal cost extra. You can actually offer a premium option for the whole project that has all the bells and whistles that you could possibly offer them. Making people spend more on the main part of your project. So include a premium option in all of your proposals next to the quote they've asked for, and you'll find that 1 in 20 will go for it, or maybe high as 1 in 10 maybe. But this is obviously extra business that you would never got if you just did this tiny little thing, and it will result in a lot more business with minimal effort from yourself. So you need to start upselling straight away. Next, we're going to talk about multi-marketing. It always baffles me how most companies only use 1 or 2 marketing avenues to find new business. You need to do several marketing techniques to make a significant increase in your profits. Not having the time is just not an excuse. You should outsource any admin that is taking your time away from marketing, or bring in an intern to handle it or something, because marketing is the most important part of your business. A lot of people concentrate too much on the service, which is obviously a part because that's what they're selling. But you can have the best service in the world, but if nobody knows about it, it's useless. So you need to get good at marketing and put time aside to do it constantly. A lot of people just put 1 day aside a month to do their marketing, which is crazy. So you need to do it every day. I mean, come in earlier. You get an extra day of the month if you come in an hour earlier to work, and then do your marketing there straight in the morning, straight away. That's what I do every day. And you'll really see a difference in the amount of people that and how your brand will grow if you just spend more time doing marketing. But you need to do several marketing avenues, not just 1 or 2. The most common marketing techniques are the following, and I'd really suggest you start doing all of them straight away. First is Google AdWords. Pay-per-click advertising, the search results at the top of Google results in the orange box and the ads down the right-hand side are the most effective internet marketing out there, as it allows you to be found for hundreds of keywords in Google searches for a minimal fee straight away, rather than search engine optimization paying to get high up on Google, which can take a long time. If you do not have a Google account, you have to get one. It will significantly improve the amount of visitors to your website. In a few years' time, I actually predict that the whole first page of Google will only be AdWords results. Do you see? So if you're spending so much money on search engine optimization instead of AdWords, do you really think that's a good investment if by paying all this money is just going to get you to the second page of Google where nobody is eventually going to click on? So you need to get started with Google AdWords. Next is social media, but social media can be is one of those ways which is really used wrong when it comes to marketing themselves. So it needs to be content marketing on social media. That's what is really effective. A lot of people try advertising their services on social media and then give up after a few months, wondering why they've never got any responses or sales through it. That's because the first thing to remember when you're marketing on social media is that people visit these websites to interact with people, follow news, be informed or entertained. They do not visit social media sites to buy. So you need to make your social media a hub of helpful information instead. Lots of posts with links to helpful tips and advice on your website for customers or people in your industry. You need to post around 7 times a day to make a difference in the pile of posts, especially things like Twitter when people have thousands of followers and each post just gets lost in the mountain of posts. So doing it, once an hour or something during a working day can really make a good difference. But don't worry, a lot of people think, well, I haven't got time to do 7 articles a day or 7 posts a day or whatever. You can automate and schedule your tweets and posts on Facebook on a great software which is on a website called Hootsuite.com. That's HOOTSUITE.com. And this basically helps you. You can just spend 1 day a month doing all of your articles for social media. 10 tips for this, 5 ways to save money for that. And then you can automate them. It tells you the time and day to do it. So just by spending a couple of hours one day, you can have a month's worth of really good content that brings people to your website. So write an ebook or report that people can download on your website by providing their email address. This is the real success of social media marketing, getting the contact details of people that you never would have got any other way, rather than getting them through them being interested in you via social media. Because they don't want to buy from you, but they might be interested in clicking on your website and taking a look at this good value content and information that they can get from your website. And this will result in a lot of traffic to your website, but then it's down to your website to do the selling there, you see? So lots of helpful tips to guide them away from social media and do the selling on your website. Email marketing is still a fantastic way of bringing in more business, and you can send 1 or 2 emails a week to your contact list with autoresponders. Again, the same as Hootsuite.com. You don't have to sit there and write emails and send them out constantly. It's just write a bunch of emails when you do your marketing, when you put your time aside for do your marketing, and then automate it. Send them out once or twice a week over the month. And that's not badgering people. That's what people are like, well, I don't like getting in touch too much. Because if you get in touch too much saying, oh give us a call today, we're great, we can really help, blah, 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 nobody's interested. But again, if you're providing them stuff with interesting information that they will find helpful, then there's no harm in getting in touch more often, you see. I wouldn't do more than twice a week, but I do a minimum of once a week. To your customers anyway, maybe not to cold people, but your customers, just give them good content and good value that you're sending them. Just come up with good information that they'll appreciate. Remarketing is, I wouldn't say it's new, but it's something that a lot of people are starting to do more often. Remarketing is essentially where, this is what website cookies are for. So when somebody visits your site, Google will take away a pixel that says this person has visited your site and they need to be shown adverts of your company on certain Google approved websites. This is called remarketing. You may have seen it before where you've gone on something like Amazon and you've looked at a certain product but you decided not to buy it, then you clicked on another website, like just a newspaper or something, but then for some reason you see an advert for the thing you were just looking at. That is remarketing. It's a really clever and sneaky way of constantly getting your brand out there, reminding people to buy. Because people surf the internet. They want to get a few different quotes. They want to get a few different prices. So they tend to look around. Nobody's going to go, oh, that's brilliant, and I'll buy. So remarketing is a fantastic way of reminding people you're there. You give them a special offer in these display adverts that you're providing them, and it's really cheap to do because it's essentially Google AdWords again, where you just you're paying per click, 20p, 10p sometimes, and you don't mind paying for that because these people are obviously interested. You're not wasting clicks on people who aren't interested in you. So you can actually choose the page the visitor goes to, so they don't actually go to your main page when people click on the site. So you can go to a page with an advert or a special offer. So when they click, it actually goes to something which is relevant to them, rather than actually, just the main page which goes over you generally. You're taking them to the bit that they've just been looking at. So you can have a lot of different remarketing destinations, not just the main page of your website. Next is video marketing. My video dramatically helps with conversion rates on websites, emails, AdWords, direct mail. It basically turns more window shoppers into clients. It proves the quality of your work, it proves the quality of your products and facilities, and it proves your track record. That's what video is. It's proof of just how good you are. Video is also, it's fantastically versatile, so you can use it on your website, in presentations, in email marketing, at trade shows, in receptions, and social media, and YouTube, and more. You really need to use video this day and age because your competitors are doing it. Video's getting a lot cheaper to produce, and it's getting easier to watch. So you need to start doing video. It's a medium people prefer now. They don't want to read lots and lots and lots. If you can get a video which sums up you and why they need to use you in 60 seconds, it's the best marketing you can get. And next you've got direct mail. Direct mail is greatly misunderstood. People think direct mail is dead due to the boom of the internet. This is nonsense. What is dead is the way people use direct mail that they used to, and not tracking it in a way which is proper, so they are not sure if it even works. First of all, you should only be sending mail to people who know who you are. Clients, people who've asked for quotes, etc. So they would recognize the company name when something comes through your posts. Doing large mailings to people who have no idea who you are is a fantastic waste of money, as your response will be minimal or non-existent, which is why most people think direct mail is dead, as they've made this mistake and they've just sent one thing out, it got no response, and then that was a waste of time. What you need to do is don't just promote your company, promote an offer. Because if you're just saying, look how good we are, let us know when you need us, you need to give them a limited time offer, so they need to respond now. Explain how admissible it is, how it runs out in a week after receiving the mailing, and the value they will get from visiting your website to hear more. This should be the wording on your mailing. The benefits of visiting your website, not the sale. Wording like this will get a lot more conversions that go to your website. So if you imagine you need to talk about the benefits of going to your website, and then on your website you talk about the benefits of buying there and there. Ideally with a video quickly summing up the offer and its benefits, and a form right next to it for people to fill in and sign up. Because then it's all really quick. The video should give them all their answers that they require, and then the form is just right next to there, so it's easy to fill out straight away. You should have a unique web address for the offer as well that can't be found on your website. So instead of having like yellowvideoproduction.com, you'd have yellowspecialoffer.com or something like that. Because this helps you track to see if the direct mail shot has worked, because you can get tracking results on how many clicks that website has got. Because if you're not using it anywhere else, this proves that, we're getting clicks, we're going through. So even if it doesn't result in a load of sales, you know the direct mail is getting traffic, and it was your website's fault that the sale wasn't good enough. You see? Yeah, so you'd also maybe split test your mailings, do 2 different designs and send each one to different halves of your contact list to see which one gets more response, and you might be surprised. Then on your next mailing, you could copy that successful design, the one that's got more of a response, maybe having 2 different websites that it goes to as well. And you might be surprised how well you do, to be honest. So then if you keep using the more successful design, that's the other thing with direct mail, is the first one mailing will never be as successful as your 5th. So you need to keep it up. That's why doing massive email shots to people who don't know is a waste of time, because you need to keep them small, because you need to keep doing them. because the first one will not get much of a response. There should be the first mailing should be kept in mind for this isn't going to get enough response. This is just to really trying to cement your name in their brain. So a couple of responses later, when they're really seeing, these guys offer good value, that they start getting in touch. That's where people fail in direct mail. They stop doing it. You need to do it several times. I'd say at least 7 times before you start making a real difference, which is why you need the people you're sending them to be a small list, because it's not costing you the world then. And because the more times they see you in the mail, the more serious they take you. You may actually get a minimal response to the first mailing, so make sure that first one maybe is more informative mailing than rather as a sales grabbing one. So this is why direct mail is so essential. It will get you loads of traffic to your website from people who know who you are and are clients already or are already impressed by your services. And these are people who are obviously a lot easier to sell to. So once they get to your website, it should be easier to grab them. You just have to have a good quality contact list of people who know who you are, and why not give this website a click? That's the kind of people that you think you should be on your contact list. If it's people who are just going to go, no, so I don't care, then don't send them anything. But that's it. So basically, you need to do all these kinds of marketing. There's more out there. There's obviously telemarketing, which is still very effective, which you should do in the same way as direct mail. It should be redirecting you to a website or something rather than trying to close a sale on the phone, as nobody likes that guy getting pounced on by a salesman. And there's plenty of other things. But don't just pick your one successful way of marketing. Trial other ways of doing it, because you might be missing out on a lot of sales just because. And you've got to admit, it's through laziness, a lot of it. We're all too busy. You should never be too busy to marketing. You should do marketing before you do anything else. The next way of improving your profits is don't discount. I know it sounds obvious, but the thing is that people are put under too much pressure to feel that, we need to discount for this job. And discounting is the road to bankruptcy. There are often times it is acceptable in a well-planned special offer. However, I'm talking about when people haggle you down after you provide them with a quote. This eats away at your profits, and discount is a bad habit you need to stop doing right away. People who say the eternal words, if you give me a good price on this job, it will lead to lots of jobs in the future. These people should be flogged and chased out of town. How often do these projects actually result in more jobs in the future? It's rare. These people aren't the people that come back with lots of jobs. They're just people trying to get money saved, and that just eats away at your profits. Have you also noticed that these are usually the people who pay late and want more from what they've actually paid for too? This is because they think you're weak-willed, as they have already knocked you down on price. So why not ask for more services for free and drag paying you out? Think of the leaders in your industry. What would they say if somebody asked for a discount? 99% of them would just say no. Our service is the best. You should pay for it. So it's offering value. That's what's important here. Offer value for your service, not a cheap price. Stopping giving discounts is obviously something that sounds difficult when you need to bring in business to pay the rent, but you won't lose out on business if you instead seem to offer fantastic value rather than a low price. Explain all the free services you provide as part of the service. Things that doesn't cost you anything so you don't lose out. The longer the list of free services that you offer, the more value you appear to offer. Think about the whole service you provide. Is there a part of it that is time-consuming, but the client doesn't really know much about it? Push it to the forefront of your marketing, explaining how you offer this for free as just part of the service. Even if most companies do it, they just don't say it. For example, a studio photographer would explain how he or she offers the following, but has one price that actually covers everything in the cost of itself. So photography, they could say free free studio use, free airbrushing, free copyright of the images, free disc of all your images, free pre-shoot meetings. You see, all of these things are just part of the service, which you should expect to put in the price. But that will start making your customers doubt your competition. If they're not saying that, they might think, well, I have to pay for those extra things. So the more things you say you give away for free, the more value that are offered. This doesn't really cost you anything, just a little more time, but being seen to offer more value than that of the competition allows you to have slightly higher costs, if anything. And as you don't discount, you won't lose out doing a bit more work as your profit margins are met. I'd also recommend, instead of discounting, perhaps providing a bit more risk elimination from the purchase. So once you've shown what value you offer, can you also offer a guarantee or something like that? If depends what it is, but if you can guarantee something, or they get their money back or something like that if they're not happy. Guarantees help remove any risk from becoming a customer, making the buying process a lot easier for them and speeds up the process too, as there are less questions to answer. Yes, you might get the odd person take you up on the guarantee, but do you think you will bring in a lot more business because of the guarantee, especially if your competition isn't doing it? If yes, then losing one client might not hurt. But that's up to you to see. I mean, guarantees can be, even though it offers risk elimination, it can be risky for some people, especially if it's anything to do with you have supplies that you have to buy. If it's something where a guarantee on a service is better, because you've lost out some time. But because you have the guarantee in place, it will result in a lot more sales. Can you also offer monthly payments? This isn't a discount, as you will get the money or more money if you add interest, but looks an easier deal for the customer and again removes any buying risk. This obviously doesn't work for everyone if you do a lot of work in a short amount of time, but it might be something worth trialing in busier periods. Next up is something which is really important, and it's aim first at your customers. Most people spend too much time and money trying to bring in new customers, but have no idea they might be sitting on a gold mine. The most essential thing for every business is its list. Contact details of all customers and everyone who has ever requested a quote or contacted you with questions. If you don't have these in a spreadsheet, this is the first thing you need to do in your business before anything else, as you are definitely missing out on a massive marketing opportunity with multi-marketing. Because these people already know who you are and they know what you can do and they trust you, and there's a relationship in place which makes a much easier sale. If you're not emailing the list at least once a week, then you're not doing it enough. Once a week is not annoying anybody if you're sending good value, remember, good content. We all know that the 80-20 rule, where 8% of your business comes from 20% of your customers, but people often forget this when desperately trying to get sales. The easiest people in the world to sell to are the people who have recently just bought from you, as they trust you and already have a relationship in place with you, so it's not such a hard sell. Especially if you're just suggesting something which isn't as expensive, just a little, again, with upselling, just giving them another little option where they might think, oh, why not? So you should start by contacting every one of your clients. Let them describe how great how great you are, so they can remember how good you are. Just ask them how the service went, and then they can just bang on with the testimonial saying, oh yeah, brilliant, that all sounds fantastic. Then explain you have a special offer on at the moment, or something that ends this week, so they act faster. A couple of hours spent on the phone doing this could be worth thousands. Then follow up the call with email marketing to each person who didn't want to sign up there and then keep sending these emails. There's something called the rule of sevens, which is an old school marketing term which is even more relevant today, because basically the rule of seven says that a potential client needs to see marketing messages from you around 7 times before they even remember you or take any action contacting you. It can actually be a lot more than 7, but the main point is that in this day and age, it is rare that someone sees an advert or visits a website and buys straight away. People like to surf and shop and get several prices and do some research. So sending out one email or one direct mail shot is not going to result in any conversions. The main fault with most business people is that they send one email shot out, wondering why they didn't get any responses. This is because, again, this is your first mail shot just got their attention. You then need to work on that attention again and again until they make the decision that they would like to buy from you. So anytime you think of starting marketing to a company, try and contact them at least 7 times over a few weeks to make them remember you. For example, 1, they receive an email. 2, then a phone call later on. 3, then a follow-up email explaining what you discussed in the call. Then they see an advert. Then they receive a newsletter in the post. Then they see a post on social media. Then they receive another email. So you see how they see 7 times before they've actually remember who you are, what you do. So remember to contact them a minimum of 7 times to cement yourself in the forefront of their mind. Next up, you need to implement a referral system. The easiest sales in the world are the ones where you've been recommended by a friend or a colleague of your clients. Obviously, word of mouth actually keeps a lot of companies afloat. So mixing this with multi-marketing is fantastic, but you need to have a proper referral system in place. Referrals are easy because these people obviously trust their friend enough to not shop around. If your price suits them, then you have the job. The biggest problem for most companies is they don't have this referral system in place. So first off, you need to ask for them. For some reason, 90% of businesses simply don't ask for referrals. Excuse me. If you ask every single one of your clients if they know someone who might also benefit from using your services over the next 12 months, then I guarantee that it will result in a lot more work for your business. You just have to remember to ask. If you are not a confident salesperson, then a good tip for this is to make your clients fill out a 1-page survey on your performance and have a little section at the end for someone to add the name and contact details of someone who might benefit from also using your service. If you or a member of your team are there waiting for them to fill it out, the person usually feels obliged to add in a contact, especially if they said, how good you are on the phone. This doesn't have to be management to do this. It could be a delivery person or an intern or whoever meets the client last to get them to fill out this form and add a referral to it. Think about it. If you start asking every single client and this results in one job, is it still worth the time of asking for it? Because it's something you never would have got if you didn't do it. Remember to reward referrals if possible. Rewarding people for referrals is a great way to increase the number of referrals you get. I'd actually stay away from cash rewards. It's often looked at unethical and actually it eats away at your profits again. Instead, offer something in terms of a discount on future purchases. A gift of some kind never hurts either. A bottle of wine is often cheaper than the money you lose on a discount. Always recognise referrals and make sure you thank people for them. If someone gives you a referral, take the time to thank them with a phone call or an email or post it on social media or something. But a phone call is the simplest way and the most effective way to say thank you. It's always a nice touch to promote them on your social media when they've helped you. If a photographer's recommended you to somebody, just say, oh yeah, if you need a photographer in Liverpool, then I would recommend, such and such. It's a simple way of showing your appreciation, but it will also encourage further referrals. You don't just want one. And last up, we've got joint ventures. Right, being a lone wolf might work in a Chuck Norris action movie, but in business, it means you are going to struggle. The key to success with any business is the relationships you've built, not just with your customers, but with other companies that can send business your way. So you need to find companies that can offer your services to their own clients, and it can become a fantastic source of regular income. For example, our company provides video production services to dozens of marketing companies around the UK, allowing them to have an unofficial video department so they don't have to buy thousands of pounds worth of equipment or gather the years of equipment we have within the team. Then their customer gets a fantastic service and our marketing partners earn a decent project management fee on top for themselves. We usually give them a slight discount as well because obviously we want to make it as profitable for our joint ventures as possible, so everyone's a winner. We also recommend our marketing partners to our own clients, so when they are looking for such services, we recommend them. So the business isn't all one way, but with a referral fee on top for ourselves, of course. The great thing about joint ventures is that it doesn't cost you anything. It just takes a little bit of time for approaching them and building a relationship. And this is a big thing because some people are really tight about this. So let your joint venture partner earn whatever he or she wants from each job. I find it strange when people don't like it when their partners put a large percentage on top for themselves and then complain trying to get more for themselves and spoil the relationship. If your partner wants to put 100% mark on top, what is the problem? You're getting exactly what you quoted for, and it's a job you never would have got without them. So let them quote what they want, as the more profitable your service is to them, the more they will come back to you and promote you to their customers. So it just blows my mind. So why complain? And don't ruin the relationship that you've built. You're both in this to make money at the end of the day, and you've got exactly what you quoted for. Make selling the service easy for your partners too, as often your partner clients will want your service but not actually know how to sell it properly or don't have all the answers. So offer to write proposals for them, provide work you've already done that they can show their customers, train them on the benefits of using your service, and let them know answers to frequently asked questions that you often get from clients yourself. Because, excuse me, because if they can't sell your service, they can promote it to everybody they know, but if they can't sell it properly, then it might be useless. So offer your support in terms of getting them to promote it in the proper way. They know the benefits of using it, and without promising the world from your point of view as well. So that's it. If you stick to all these rules, I think you will guarantee a quick raise in sales. It's none of this is going to really cost you much. All it's going to do is basically cost you a bit of time. And what you need to do is you need to outsource any time that you are spending on stuff where it is not concentrating on bringing business in to the company. Everything else you need to delegate. I know that's tricky, so where some people say they don't want to spend that extra bit of money getting extra staff, but there's companies you can hire to do bits of admin for a minimal fee, but you've got to think of the more time you spend on marketing, the more money you're going to make. So it's a good use of your cash. I hope that all helps, guys. Anyway, I apologise outside the window. There's been birds and airplanes and everything while recording this, but I hope you found that helpful. But underneath this video, this podcast, is a link to download a free ebook, which basically goes through in more detail exactly what we've talked about today. All you got to do is just put in your email address, press send, and we'll send you an email back straight away with a link to download the ebook. The ebook also includes a nice limited offer for revolutionising your marketing as well, for a small minimum fee for anybody who actually reads our ebook. So take a look at it and download the ebook today, and I look forward to hearing from you in the future. Take care, guys. Bye.